démocratique. Con Arnold, Cameroon.
Well, we've seen the teams. We've come onto the floor. We've seen the national anthems, heard the national anthems, and now the teams are going to come together. Say greetings, Senegal's coaches and Morocco's coaches, as well as the players. Senegal's players, they say, if you're not going to meet us at midcourt, we're going to come all the way over there and meet you. Except Jing, Gorgie Jing is the only one that stood on the half-court line. He's like, who am I going to give mine to? He's looking. There he goes. He's giving it. Now, the referees for tonight's game, Damir Yavor, Tonton Banza Kalume, and Arno Komnijilo, excuse me. So it's an AfroBasket, but we do have some referees from other regions like Europe. We've seen Francis Bissang, and we're going to see Yavor now. For Morocco, who are coached by Anton Vujanic, you know, are they going to play a similar style to Algeria, and who do you like?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Morocco like to get up and down as well, but we're talking about 2 years ago now. New coaching, obviously, and Anton Vujanic, so I'm sure it'll be a different style to what we've seen from them. But yeah, they've got some athletic players. They've got some really energetic players, such as Abdulrahim Naja on the inside. You know, he is really like a linchpin. He'll have a tough time today against the big front line from Senegal, but he's a real energizer. He's got to be careful not to get into foul trouble. The star of the show for them, though, is Abdulrahim Zouita. He is the lead player for Morocco.
Well, Cheksar, you know, there's no question that his team has got some serious players, some serious athleticism, playing above the rim. Jing clearly is their leading player. Baji's tough. Mohamed Faye also electric at times.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing's for sure, this Senegal team will have some highlights. I can almost guarantee you that. As you said, Dieng is the star of the show. You know, he's coming off a very good career season in the NBA, just shy of 10 points a game in his second year, but they're surrounded by talent. Slightly smaller lineup for them, you know, for a Senegal team, but the other player you highlighted I think is very good as well, is Mohamed Faye.
So Antoine Mendy gets the start for Senegal. And, it's you know, a Senegal team that also has, well, primarily Jing, the big headline maker, the 25-year-old, the center. And at small forward is Zouita here for Morocco. He'll be very important to the cause for Morocco. And I mean, what do you think? I think this is an even matchup coming in, or do you think that Senegal are going to be riding a wave of momentum? They're just going to forget the qualification defeat and come out here and just really smoke them.
Yeah, it's a different Senegal team. I don't know if they'll come out and smoke them, but Senegal definitely go in as favourites the way they've performed last couple of years. For Morocco, the scoring is, in 2013, Abdulrahim Zouita had to carry a big scoring load. He was second in the tournament in scoring. He averaged 20 a game. You know, but like I say, it's a new team, a new dawn, different coach. It'll be a different style, I'm for sure. And really, the knock on Morocco, perhaps, in that tournament was the three-point shooting. So it'll be interesting to see, can they adjust? Because, you know, really and truthfully, you don't get a lot at the ring against Senegal. They've got such athletes, you know, aggressive bigs will go after it. And not just one or two like we've seen for the other teams. You know, there's 5 or 6 guys that can get after it and really, you know, challenge people at the ring.
Well, there you see Cheksar, and you also saw before that Anton Vujanic. And newly appointed coach. So Vujanic excited to be a part of this AfroBasket. Well, Morocco last won the title back in 1965, and the reason why that's important, Lloyd, is that was the year of a very important birthday. And you know whose that was? And I don't even, it was my birthday. Well, I was about a few months old when they won the title. Now, Morocco, that's been a long time because I'm feeling pretty old right now. Senegal is a team that, you know, they've made some headlines in this competition over the years, but clearly they have played second fiddle to Angola, especially the last 2 decades. And
well, they've actually only won the tournament once before, and that was 1983.
But they did make it to the final back in 2005 with Boniface Indong when he was the MVP of the competition.
Well, they have the most appearances of any team in the AfroBasket competition. It was only the very first one way back in 1962 that they haven't appeared in. Apart from that, every year they've been present. They're third in the medal total, 15 total medals, but yeah, and then in 2015 they finished third. Now coming off the impressive win though, in the qualification, warm-up that we talked about earlier against Angola. They got a very easy win over the Angolan team, which was a big surprise really for a lot of people because of the way in which they got the manner of that victory. But it was on the back of Gorgui Deng and Antoine Mendy, really. They led the way. Deng with an incredible performance, 32 points and 10 rebounds in that one.
Hello, everybody. You're looking live here in Tunis. It's AfroBasket 2015, and it is Morocco and Senegal. We've started Morocco winning the tip here, wearing the dark uniforms, the green, going up against Senegal in the white. And Morocco get inside early, and Gorgui Deng collects one of many of the rebounds that he is sure to collect tonight. And an early turnover there for Senegal by Mendy. Look at the size of Senegal and how imposing that must be for Morocco. And a turnover now for Morocco from Naja. So starting at the point is Dalmeida for Senegal. And the bump, and quite clearly, you know, it's hard to believe that already, you know, it's been almost a year since Senegal went on that famous run at the FIBA Basketball World Cup when they beat Croatia, they beat Puerto Rico, they got to the round of 16, took on host Spain. Because so much has happened since then. They lost their qualifying tie.
Yeah.
They've gotten a wild card to play. Deng has gone on to play another year in the NBA, but they've just got a lot of talent. People don't realize how much talent is in Senegalese basketball, do they?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've done them a disservice saying they've only won AfroBasket once. They won it 5 times. The last one was the one I was referring to as Mohamed Faye gets the first 2. Coach Jack Shah doesn't look impressed, but you know, it's a smooth move to start the game.
Great player, Faye. Faye is the guy. He's got the eye. Now Morocco coming back the other way. Oh, aggressive move inside, but unsuccessful. Going to the basket for Morocco was Zouita. He had the shot.
And that's Zouita's game. He's not an outside threat at all, but he's a slasher. He's a great leaper. You know, he's aggressive off the drive. He'll be a handful for even for Senegal on their front line. You know, he's difficult to guard.
This Morocco team has a little bit of size as well. Korodou, number 6, under the basket, and he gets a hand on it and draws a foul. And there he is, Korodou. And Bodji is a player that, you know, we understand. I mean, he's just brute strength. Look at him. He's at the free throw line. And he makes the first one.
The thing that makes me laugh is we say how big Bodji is, but he's the smallest of the bigs for Senegal, really. He stands at 208, but still to come in. You know, you've got Badji, you've got Thomas, and you've got Sene as well.
But when I say big, I mean well chiseled. You don't have those measurements.
No, they're all the same size as he is. You know, it's one of the most physically impressive teams in world basketball, Senegal. They really are.
Well, he was their 5th leading scorer last year at the World Cup. And he's young. He's only 23 years of age. So he would have been, what, 3 the last time they won it? No, sorry, when they made it to the final. Anyway, and it goes, and a block from Badji, shot clock violation. In fact, he would have been 13 the last time they got to the final. Let's get that straight.
The last one in 97.
So 97. Let's just draw a line on
get
this.
your maths,
He was
Jeff.
4.
Where did you go to school? UNC? You take
Yes,
some of the
exactly.
classes of the football players.
4.5, 5. So Mendy up top. And Almeida. Jing pulls up at the line. It's good. Soft touch.
He's a player, isn't he? You can see just the quality he has in everything. You know, the movement. Oh, I nearly had this steal then as well.
Korodu gets inside, nowhere to go against Badji, turns it over. There's the replay. You can hear the Senegalese drums in the background. Almeida, Badji out to Mendy. And Mendy gets inside, puts it up too hard, follows it up. And come the other way, Fai gets it back to Dalmeida, alley-oop, and the dog! Hello! Mohamed Fai is in the house! He gave it back knowing full well that was coming back.
Yeah, well, I said to you, I say there's more highlights in this one than we saw from Cape Verde earlier. There's number 1 already.
That could be challenging for number 1 on the highlight reel.
Yeah.
Naja bumped as he goes past.
The person I feel sorry for is the cameraman who's sitting under the basket because the whole equipment was shaking after that dunk. I don't know how confident I'd be sitting there.
Vujinic looking on.
A start to AfroBasket for him.
Pulling up at the line is good from the Moroccan point guard. Number 8, Kalfi, Mustafa Kalfi.
Well, Kalfi's the one guy really of the people who have come back that shoots any sort of percentage from 3. You know, he had a good tournament in 2013. You know, he was 39% for 3. Everybody else was kind of way under. Zuita 25%. You know, other guys here as well. Haras, for instance, was just 1 of 16.
Well, we saw some players that struggled with the 3 2 years ago that have come out firing, like El Gamel.
Yeah, absolutely. And Carrera from Cape Verde as well.
Yep, Mario Carrera. He hit 4 of his first 6 today. Traveling. Wonder what it must be like to be Dalmeida, the smallest guy out there for Senegal amongst such incredible physical players. Does that make it easy for him?
Yeah, I mean, with plays obviously like the transition a minute ago, he was able to just throw it up. Fai does all the hard work, and Zuita's going to pick up his second, right?
Yep.
That's big.
So Dalmeida just easily gets the assist on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, difficult start here for Morocco. They're down 8-2. And Badji, you can see he's a big man. They're trying to keep out of the lane. That's not going to happen. Mendy up top. Badji. Now Dalmeida. Jang puts up a 3. Oh, Badji gets the rebound, knocked out of bounds. shot clock violation. So 8-2. Mohamed Faye out on the perimeter playing the D. Zuita. And it goes Zuita now. Again, gets inside, and did he get it off in time? Well, Bocci with the rebound. Quickly over to Faye. And it goes to Mendy. Spins, and he gets hand on the ball and in the face and draws the foul.
It's the first, but it won't be the last on Naja. I can guarantee you that. He has been known to foul out rather quickly.
So Antoine Mendy at the line. Gets his first point. There's Naja. And look at the scrap going on underneath there. The battle long before the shot. He looks over at the ref and says, "I'm sorry, it's okay." Seems kind of hit and miss, though, the way that's policed down there on the free throw shooting. Guys fighting for position before the shot. Sometimes guys step in the lane too early. Corodos misses. And this time, Nava gets it, misses. Almeida. Jang just turns, puts it up, and misses. Look at all those hands up around the basket, and Morocco come away with it. Kalfi hands it off to Zuita, and he misses. Corodo, however, goes up and draws the foul on Mendy.
It's been working for Morocco. Even Zuita getting to the ring, usually the staple of their offense. Look at that, it's a good look from him. Well challenged, I suppose. Luckily, it's great work on the glass, isn't it?
So with only Kalfi hitting with any high percentage a couple years ago, you reckon? I mean, the lanes are open right now anyway, so you know they can challenge the basket. So as far as the importance of him going out and starting to hit some threes to loosen things up, things are already loosened up.
Yeah, they're very good at getting to the ring, Morocco. They take their opportunities in transition. And now we see with a bit of pressure, 2-2-1. Perhaps a 1-2-2 press. And the thing is, they're going to need to score to get into this. They'll want to speed the game up. Senegal like to play slow.
Well, here is Zuita for the two-handed dunk for Morocco.
That's what I said. He is a highlight film. If he gets out in transition, he sees that lane. It's all based on them scoring, though.
Well, scoring off turnovers is much easier. Those are the cheap points. And they'll take them if they can get them.
Now they're into a 2-3 zone, so they're going to challenge the outside game of Senegal.
Well, the pass to Jang. He gets inside, and he would have been looking for a foul in the NBA on that one. And a foul called on Naja, rather, and Naja's beside himself.
That's a tough call, isn't it? You know, it looked like Dieng was trying to stand up with the ball. Naja's picked up his second now. Oh, he dribbled it. That's why.
It's a tough call still. He reached in, but
You've got to give Dieng credit, though. He's on the floor, starts dribbling so he can stand up. We couldn't see that from our angle. The way he was lying down, he dribbled the ball in front of him, but a very heady play.
free throws good by Jang. And a little bit of calming down. see Jing looking out. Nava comes out of the game with the 2 fouls. So number 4 comes in, Haras.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of players grow up from 2013 to 15, and he's one of those players I'm looking to, you know, bit part, kind of a role player in 2013, but provided an energy spark off the bench. See how he's developed over these last 2 years.
Zuita kind of creates a little bit of space for himself and misses the shot. He's missed a couple in there. Oh, but he reads that pass. Look out! Oh, showtime! Zuita, his second dunk of the game.
He gets on 1 foot. You know, he gets off 1 foot, he can finish. Anything off 2 feet is a little bit shaky sometimes. You know, jump shots or the turnaround like we saw. But if you let him get off that 1 foot, he is automatic. A good tip.
Cordodo gets it over to Zuita. So I think that was Fai that missed that shot. In fact, it was Bodji. And now back to Calfi.
We'll take the 3, yeah.
Bodji off the rim. And Mendy hands it off to Dalmeida. Back to Jang. Jang just kind of steps in, takes an easy one. And quickly, here we go. Let's see what he looks like. Oh, beautiful. Couldn't quite finish, though. Maybe made it a little bit harder than it needed to be. And quickly, Bodge back to Dalmeida, and in it goes, and the dunk, but he was denied. Good defense from Zuita. Calfi with a dribbling exhibition, brings it back outside.
That's a play from Zuita. It's got 2 fouls, remember. He's only got 1.
And Fai knocks it away. Fai races down the floor.
My mistake. Zuita's just got the 1. I thought they caught him for the second. So gone to somebody else.
Oh, Fai gets in the lane, passes back out to Mendy. That's on line. Good!
It's a nice stroke from Mendy. So he came up big in that victory over Angola. He was the guy in the 4th quarter, hit a couple of big shots to break the game.
You're talking about in the warm-up.
Yeah, preparation for this tournament. That's a good psychological win that for Senegal.
Calfi gets inside but puts it off the side of the backboard. Now Dalmeida looks up and traveling, passing to the big man and transition. Bodji travels, so timeout on the floor. Here's another look at Zuita flying down for the dunk, one of his 2 dunks. And that was the alley-oop to Fai earlier in the contest. And that was when Fai was denied. 14-8, Senegal. Well, questionable timeout called by Cheick Sarr. Look at that, 9 points from turnovers for Senegal, just 2 from Morocco. You raised the point, Lloyd. Why call the timeout with 54.5 seconds remaining in the quarter? You're leading, and the other guy has the ball.
Yeah, it's a strange timeout for me. You've got a 6-point lead, so it's nothing that urgent. You don't need to stop a run. You're being in the quarter. You're going to get to talk to your team soon anyway. And all you've done is you've given an opportunity now with 54 seconds to go for Morocco and Coach Vujovic to draw up a play. You know, he can try and set something up here to get a good high quality shot.
You know, it's not just Senegal drums, it's Moroccan drums. And the Moroccan drums were right beside us. I don't know how I missed that earlier.
One of these guys supported Tunisia yesterday.
They were, yeah. Calfi gets inside to Cordodo, and Cordodo makes it.
There you go, the drawn up play. Easy 2.
Big fella, Corodo. Yep, you were right. The 30-year-old scored with ease. So they also have a get the ball back as well, but Antoine Mendy hits the three-pointer for Senegal. Takes it back to a 7-point lead.
He's a zone buster, isn't he? Ndoye as well, who's come in, can knock it down from the perimeter.
Kalfi gets it out. And the big fella that likes to drive, now they've got just a little bit of time. Will he get it off in time? Fine. Not enough time for Senegal. Zuita was trying to get something going to the basket, a foul, something. Nothing was called. And Morocco trails 17-10 against Senegal after the first quarter. Well, the shots aren't falling really for Senegal, but they're 4 of 16. I guess for Morocco. For Senegal, they've edged ahead at the free throw line, and they're out rebounding them. 7 turnovers for Morocco, 5 for Senegal, so pretty sloppy game in that respect. Do you think Senegal have the ability to stamp their authority on the match and to go ahead and go for the jugular, or they're going to allow Morocco to kind of hang around?
I think so. The style Senegal play is they don't really run up big scores. You know, when you see Nigeria play, especially 2013, they would blow teams out. Senegal don't really do that because they play such a methodical pace. You know, they don't really run unless they're going to have, you know, a wide open layup like we saw with Mohamed Faye. So unless they get that sort of situation, they'll walk it up the floor, they'll take their time, they'll try and pound it to the inside. So I think with that tempo, it's hard to really blow teams out. But at the same time, you know, a 6 to 8 point lead is something which is difficult for people to come back at.
Well, second quarter action underway here in Tunis. It's Senegal on top 17-10 against Morocco at the African Championship, the AfroBasket. The winner of this tournament will go on and qualify for the Olympics. Might it be Senegal? Well, Antoine Mendy outside, nothing but net, but the outside of the net
I mean,
instead of the inside of the net.
Stroke looks so pure the first two, and then he takes that one, misses everything.
Malay Njoy has come into the game. Number 9 for Senegal. Entry pass, and Harris not only makes the basket but draws the foul.
I said he's one of the players I want to look to for how they've developed. That's a great cut and an even better pass. But he was a good spark off the bench. He's almost a bit like Zuita. Perhaps not a great shooter from the outside, but a slasher and get to the ring. And a great athlete as well.
Well, you mentioned that Morocco does have the history of the AfroBasket success, but you have to go back a ways. And they would love to make some headlines here in North Africa. Mendy, another 3 attempt. That time off. Faye went up for the board. Now quickly Kalfi over to Harris for 3. Good. He looks like a pretty slick player to me.
I said he perhaps doesn't have that 3-point range. Maybe that's what he's added over these 2 years. Got in early. And the zone is helping, isn't it? It's really taken away the threat of Dieng, because every time he gets it, they can double team him. Just got to be careful to know where the shooters are. Mendy especially over on this near side.
Well, good defense from Harris, and Senegal have to put up a prayer. They almost get the rebound, but it goes back over to Morocco. And Badji is going to come into the game for the first time. Not Badji, but Badji. Badji's number 13. Interestingly, when Senegal won the title back in 1980, Morocco finished third. So they both got to the podium that year. Well, that's a long time ago, 35 years ago. Kalfi misses. And that's a rebound really that Jing needs to corral. Harris entry pass breakdown, and Morocco have tied it. What is Senegal doing?
Could have done, nearly lost it, didn't he? He fumbled with it, nearly traveled, but still managed to maintain it.
Senegal just looked confused.
Yeah.
Up from the corner, and Kalfi beats
Watch out.
Almeida to the ball and puts Morocco in front.
Thought he was going to throw it back to Zuita, but it went all the way. And again, this zone has just changed the game. Bit of pressure into the 2-3.
Oh, there you go. Get it to the big man and let him dunk it.
But they've got to find a way to do that in the half court as well. Because too often it's just been a couple of passes and a 3 from Senegal.
Zuita goes to the basket. And Senegal survive. Can't be that hard to stop him going past you if you know you'd rather him beat you with a jump shot.
Yeah, true. He's very quick though. He's long, he's rangy. You know, the first step goes a long way. So you see the great pass there from Badji.
Yep, and Jing flushing it. Jing with 5 points, 5 rebounds. It's a game high 5 rebounds. Almeida puts up a crazy 3. Badji was there close to the rebound but didn't bring it in. And Czech Sar now wants to have a timeout on the next possession, or the next dead ball. Harris. Game's changed a little bit since he's entered. And here he is. Oh, that was nice.
Fantastic smooth drive.
Well, Harris could be looking at one of the real stars here of African basketball. Another look at his drive. We've seen him do a little bit of everything, haven't we? Play a little defense, scores on that drive, hit the three-pointer. The Moroccans like it. They lead it, 21-19.
So with his second timeout then. He does this a lot. We've got 6.5 minutes to go in the game. And he's sort of run for Morocco now. He's called both timeouts. He's got no chance of stopping it. So you have to go here on out without any more instruction.
It's interesting how quickly a player can develop. You were talking about Harris, how, you know, what has he added to his game as you look at the points from turnovers and the turnovers for both teams. Go back to 2011 when Morocco finished 8th, 1.5 points and 0.5 rebounds. Then at 2013, the AfroBasket 2 years ago that you were talking about, almost 4 points a game and 3 rebounds. But he looks like a guy that can lead this team now.
Yeah, absolutely.
In every respect.
Yeah, I mean, well, he never had double figures in a game in AfroBasket 2013. His high was 8 points, and that was against Cameroon.
He's already got 7 points.
Yeah, so he's well on his way.
He's 22. In fact, he's 21. He doesn't turn 22 until November 24th. So he's in the running for the best 21-year-old at the tournament. Dalmeida.
He's got some competition, though.
Jing. Well, he got his man off. Wait, no substitute for offensive rebounding, is there? Baji gets the putback. Who's the 21-year-old that you're thinking of?
You've got the inside duo from Central African Republic. And
yes.
then also you've got
Sadiba or no, Ballo.
And Ballo you've got. And from
but also different types of players.
Grabongo as well.
Yeah.
He's from Central African Republic. Mali is Ballo.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take this guy.
And then
I do like those guys, though.
And also in the last game, obviously the inside guy from
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And the trip, Zuita falls down now. Dalmeida passes, it goes out of bounds, but Morocco stopped the fast break.
Pasi Primera is the one I was thinking of.
Yep, he's 21 years of age as well. I would say this one looks maybe more complete, but they're all good. That's the exciting part for Africa. Nice three-point shot made by Malay Enjoy. Entry pass, Zuita. And he was fouled, I think, from behind by Dalmeida. Well, Dalmeida he hasn't come out yet, has he?
No.
I remember with speaking to Boniface Indong several years ago, and he was talking about how their point guard was the main issue. How could they get the point guard? And I guess, some countries maybe just don't have point guards. They've got a lot of big high flyers.
Yeah, I mean the thing is about a lot of players from Senegal will leave at an early age and they'll go develop in other countries, but a lot of those countries will only want bigs. So they'll take young bigs from all over. They perhaps won't take the guards with such frequency. So that's why it's harder for Senegalese to develop point guards.
El Maksoud brings it up. He's been pretty quiet. Niang is going to come in. He's a guard. Maybe he'll spell Dalmeida. Gorgie Jing out on Korodo. Harris was online but short. And Baji hands it off to Dalmeida. Fight playing a lot of minutes tonight as well. He gets it before it goes out of bounds, puts up a three, short, and Harris comes down with his first rebound. And Zuita drives, they're going to give it to him. So he goes to the line for a potential three-point play.
To go back to show the difference in the quality. As we see the score from Zuita, Dalmeida's playing third division in France. That's where he plays his club basketball. Consider the rest of these Senegalese players, they're playing top division in a lot of countries around the world. Obviously, Dieng is playing in the NBA and having great success. So it just kind of shows you the level of point guard or player that they have, really, in that position.
Well, Senegal had 8 hands up there by the glass. They didn't get it, and ends up costing them big time as Morocco get a 4-point play down that trip down that time the floor. And now the reach in. Diop has come into the game. Sene as well, the big center. Look at Sene moving around inside. You got to get him the ball. Three seconds, the call, I think, against Sene. El Maksoud, bounce pass. Zuita, he's close to the basket. He doesn't want to be denied, but he is. Somebody just joined the SWAT team, and Enjoy in transition just lays it up. Oh, the block. Zuita, that was Sene. Well, no surprise there that he got a block.
No.
That's why he's in there.
This is a huge lineup from Senegal, isn't it? With Badji and Sene on at the same time.
Mohamed Diop was just told to pipe down a little bit by the referee. That was the Sene block. Have another look. Here it is.
I mean, Sene was a well-respected and highly thought-of prospect at one time, wasn't he? Yeah, had that huge game in the Nike Classic, an all-star game.
So Diop picked up the foul. And Chua makes both free throws. Well, the way this game started, it looked like Senegal might just pull away. And they just have been reeled back in by Morocco, and they look a bit lost, confused. To get it inside. Sene grabs it, puts it up and in. Well, there's no substitute for size.
I was just saying, you know, he's a former top 10 draft pick. Drafted number 10 by the Seattle Supersonics in 2006. So he has great pedigree.
Yeah, he played in Spain. He's had a couple of knee injuries, hasn't he? He's had one knee injury.
Yeah.
And he's also played in France.
That's right.
I know he played for Fuenlabrada in Madrid.
Yep, and then in the D-League as well. So he came off the back of a huge performance in the Nike Hoop Summit game. And he sort of the first time he was seen by a lot of international scouts. And he had a monster performance, caused him to get drafted very early in his development. It hasn't really kind of progressed the way people would have thought, but still, you know, he is a shot-blocking force.
That was a long time ago when you talk about Seattle.
Yeah.
Before they moved to Oklahoma City.
Well, something else that is long, his wingspan, 7 foot 8.5 inches, so 2 meters and 35 centimeters.
Yeah, that would be worth investing in.
Yeah, and that's why he's able to block some shots.
28-28. Niang has come in to run the point. And now Naja, who's come back in with the fouls. And Niang, the point guard, just lost it. And I'm not sure he would qualify as a natural point guard. And maybe that's why. There's Niang from the corner, and up ahead, El Maksoud up off the glass and in. Now 4-point lead for Morocco.
He's playing this game really well, Morocco. You know, tactically, this little press into the zone has caused problems, and any time they can get out in transition, doing a very good job of running.
Three-pointer falls. That's another one for Malay Enjoy.
Yeah, well, Enjoy doesn't see a shot he doesn't like. If he gets it and he's open, you might as well go rebound.
Morocco out on the perimeter. And they waited too long that time, El Maksoud. So kind of a middle mistake.
Leaf hasn't looked for that perimeter jump shot at all, really, has he? He said he was a good percentage shooter. As we see Endoy hit his three. Shot the ball well, though. Senegal 7 of 15 from three-point range.
Well,
Excuse me, 4 of 14 for three-point range.
1:13 to go. It was an important basket that last trip down from Enjoy because Morocco had gone up by 4. I think their biggest lead of the game. Enjoy traveled. Didn't look right, did it? Or was it Diop? Diop traveled. So 104 remaining, and yeah, Morocco right in it. Maybe if you had to bet on one of these two teams, you might put your money on them the way they've kind of come back into it. Chua has the ball kicked by Badji. Badji's giving some instructions. El Maksoud hands it off to Chua on the baseline. And now with 40 seconds to go, Enjoy brings it across and hands it off to Nyang. Played for the Milwaukee Panthers in college basketball, but El Maksoud gets the steal. And not quite as secure with the ball when Dalmeida is not out on the court, or Senegal.
You look at the lineup. They've got all 5 bench players on right now. Morocco still got some starters out there. It's a nice kind of balance for them.
From the corner, another one. This one from Diop. So the three-pointer knots it at 34, and with 10 seconds remaining, a Senegalese player, Badji, is taking a shot and has gone down. He's holding.
He landed on his knee. As he went to make the pass, his leg wasn't kind of underneath him. And he landed right down on his knee.
Hopefully he'll be okay. We've already seen.
I think it's more a bruising than a twist. You see on this one, watch his left leg. Oh no, yeah, he just kind of landed, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's going to walk over. Hopefully he'll be okay. Don't want to see anything happen to these guys like that.
No.
34 all with 10 seconds remaining. And timeout. Thankfully, Badji looks like he's shaking it off a little bit. We see the same sort of issues with Senegal that we see with Nigeria, how they can kind of get on top of you and then not really be able to race ahead into a huge lead.
I don't know. I think from game 1 from Nigeria, yeah, they didn't play particularly well. They were still finding their feet. But their style of basketball is generally different from Senegal.
Sure, it is, definitely.
And they have the ability to really open up a lead. Whereas, like I said before, Senegal they play so slow. And when you play like that, you're not going to blow anybody out because you just don't take enough shots or you don't score enough points.
That was an interesting stat that we just saw on the graphic. Morocco just being out-rebounded by 1 against Senegal, 20-19.
But this is a Senegalese team again. We referred to 2 years ago, and it's a completely different tournament. But they were out-rebounded in their first knockout game by Rwanda. Rwanda had 1 player over 2 meters. Senegal, like we said, the most physically dominant team in this tournament, and yet they still struggle on the glass.
Well, the final 5 seconds here. Kalfi gets inside, and did he save it in time? Naja tried to get it back inside. Kalfi bit the dust. And now with 2.3 seconds left, it's the Senegalese drums that we hear. They've got a chance. Have they drawn up a play here? Well, Yang puts it up from midcourt, and he was short. So, halfway through the contest, 20 minutes in the book, 34-34, Senegal and Morocco. with Senegal taking a lot more threes and Morocco getting to the line more often. And we talked about the rebounding already. Pretty even. I suppose maybe Senegal just don't have because they don't have as many guards, they can't push the ball up the floor as quickly as they'd like, and that's why they do play slowly.
Yeah, and again, the creativity, that's where you want the guards, like you said, to push it in transition, to beat people, to kick and things like that. They don't have it, so they have to go to a set to get that creativity. They have to pound it to the inside, force teams to help to be able to get that advantage in an open shot.
34 all at halftime. Be sure to join us for the final 20 minutes, unless we have overtime, of course, on day 2 at AfroBasket 2015. 34-34, the halftime score between Morocco and Senegal. And Senegal, after a bright start, weren't able to really pull away from Morocco, and wouldn't necessarily they invited them back into the game, but it was the play of players like Reda Haras, who's emerging as a very important player for this Morocco team that helped them come back.
Absolutely. It's always great to have impact players off the bench. You know, players that you can look to and change the game if it's not going your way. And that's exactly what Haras did coming in, didn't he? You know, the game wasn't going particularly well for them, but he just gave them a spark, got out in transition, deflected a couple of passes, and then got those 7 points as well.
Well, all four teams, in fact, all of the teams in the 16-team tournament will progress to the next round. So these teams are all kind of jockeying for position in the standings. And the advantage of having a good, strong finish is that you would likely have a more favorable opponent in that first knockout game. Gorgui Dieng, out there for Senegal, wearing number 14, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 8 points apiece for Antoine Mendy and Malay Enjoy, and 7 points apiece for Zouita, and as you saw, Haras for Morocco. So really pretty even, and no doubt 20 exciting minutes to come. Now Zouita, who likes to get inside, just does that, puts his head down, gets into the lane, and puts it up.
From one side of the court to the other side of the ring, but whatever works. Again, the score means the press back to the zone, and the zone's just negated the inside force of Senegal. We said the numbers for Dieng, only 5 points. He just hasn't been able to get any clean looks. Every time he gets it on the low block, he's double teamed.
Well, Zouita now with a team-high 9 points, and shot clock violation for Senegal. They fall asleep.
Spot on tactics. We haven't really, I don't think, given enough credit to Coach Vujanic. Yeah, he's done a tremendous job.
Calfee for 3. Players are up off the bench ready to celebrate.
He didn't look for that 3 at all in the first half. It surprised me because he is a good shooter. There they go. Seems like he's told himself to look for it a bit more in the second half.
Nice to see the crowd, or the fans, not only the fans, but the players act like fans, cheering for their teammates, and that was an easy basket for Enjoy. So he's got 10 points.
That's the first time they've unlocked the zone, really, isn't it? In the half court, being able to get it into the high post at all.
Now an offensive foul called against Zouita. So that's his second foul, and it was Mendy that drew it. And Mendy then goes down to the other end, gets the offensive rebound and putback, and suddenly Morocco giving away a couple of cheap baskets.
Yeah, a couple of breakdowns they didn't have in the first half at all. They've allowed the ball in the foul line, and they've given up the offensive rebound as well.
Zouita this time goes down and throws it down one-handed. Talk about breakdowns. Why are you going to stop and think he's going to shoot a jump shot? He hasn't shot one all night, has he? Dieng, well, we saw him practicing that jump shot in the warm-ups. That triggers a fast break, and Corodo just lays it up and in. Puts it up the old-fashioned way, so Morocco go back on top 40-38. Mohamed Faye is a genuine jump shooter here. He's passing it up, though, tries to force it.
It's almost too open, isn't he? It's amazing when you have that much space how sometimes it just throws you. Exactly what happened to Faye. Doesn't want to take a quick one. Plays against him.
Well, Enjoy gets inside, puts it up and in. Great play from Enjoy. So he's starting to pour in the points. You say he's never met a shot that he didn't like, but you can't have any complaints with him getting out on the break, can you?
No, absolutely. I mean, he's a very good shooter. Don't get me wrong. You know, that's why he's got these points. He's 5 of 8 from the field, so he can be a scoring punch. He just isn't scared of putting it up there.
Well, now they've allowed Cordodo again to get inside, and he's got 10 points.
Just a poor breakdown. The last possession where Morocco didn't get a clean look. Senegal switched every screen. They talked a lot. It was very good. And then this last possession, then just one screen. They break down, don't communicate, and they give up an easy layup.
Jing has 2 fouls. Calfee probing. Now you know Zuita wants to get in there, put it on the deck and drive. Just 7 seconds now. 7 seconds on the shot clock. And the long one. And just like that, Morocco have stretched the advantage to 5. And El Maksoud has been relatively quiet, but that first 3-pointer comes at a good time. And the reach, good defense from Morocco. El Maksoud now. I guess you could say that El Maksoud doesn't really force anything, does he?
But he's a nice compliment to have alongside Zuita. If I didn't like it, Zuita's lucky there. The left arm, watch it get wrapped around this hip, watch. Oh, this is the 3 instead. So it's a nice compliment, doesn't force it, doesn't need the ball a lot, doesn't take a lot of shots, but plays great defense, can knock it down when he's open. 17 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 4 from the field, just what you'd want.
Zuita, well, that's a rare jump shot from him, and lo and behold, the long rebound goes out to Naja. Well, Senegal need to wake up here. Calfee right at the buzzer. Jang gets in there for the rebound. Now, Senegal fast break. Mendy just tries an impossible shot. Gets blocked by the underside of the rim.
Should have made the pass, shouldn't he? He had the open man in fire ahead of him. He says sorry now.
Yeah, you got to give that ball up on the break. You could just even throw it up for a fight.
Yeah, it's the same thing. When he caught the ball, he wasn't aware of where his teammates were. So he took a dribble and then he saw 5, but by that point it was too late. We said it in a previous game. At this level, you have to know the play before it happens. You know, you've got to have that anticipation. You've got to know where people are. So when you get the ball, you already know what you're going to do before it's even touched your hands.
Jang prepared for the block. Ball goes outside to Cordodo. And Jang just gets in there and grabs another board. 7 rebounds. Dalmeida, he puts up a 3, but off the rim. Mendy gets in there and draws the foul from Calfee. So 2 fouls on Calfee. Dalmeida again draws another foul, this one from El Maksoud. Well, Five's going to put up a 3. Mendy soars in for the rebound. Kind of hands it off to Jing, and they draw another foul, this one on Naja. So Senegal's rebounding prowess now showing itself a little bit.
Yeah. Doing a better job crashing the glass. Nacho's only got himself to blame, really, for that foul. He was the one that didn't box out against Mendy.
3 fouls on Naja. You said he was a foul magnet. You think he'll foul out of the game?
Yes. He just plays with such energy, and unless he's going to sit here for a long period of time, he's so active. He picks up fouls because of that. You know, you take away the fouls, you take away 90% of what's good about him.
Well, Naja is going to come out of the game after picking up the 3rd foul. He's the energy player, but he wasn't playing with enough energy on that one play, as you said, because he failed to box out. So that leads him to the bench. Zuita was bumped by Enjoy. Oh, yeah, you gave him a forearm shiver. Zuita was asking for unsportsmanlike there.
Zone from Senegal, and it's a big zone. Look at that. Mohamed Faye at the front.
Well, El Maksoud's going to put up a 3. He was happy to take it. How long will it be before we see Harris come in? Maybe he'll be a zone buster. Jang from the line. Boy, he made that look easy. Just kind of turned and released. Gets it back to a 1-point game. 9 points. Getting ever so closer to a double-double. 9 points, 8 rebounds for Gorgui Dieng. And then the reach, and Faye almost forced the steal. El Maksoud again pulls up inside, and then follows the miss. And then in the hustle, he fouls Antoine Mendy. Watch this. He does a good job of following it. Well, he didn't touch him. He had the collision as he came in for the rebound, but it looked like they didn't call the foul until they both chased after the ball a little bit. Anyway, Antoine Mendy goes to the other way. So suddenly the dip in form, you attribute that possibly to the Senegalese going to his zone, kind of throwing them out of sync.
Yeah, I think Senegal offensively have done a better job against the zone from Algeria as well. Morocco, excuse me. You know, they've got the ball in the foul line, and as well, they've rebounded far better.
Zuita hustles down the floor, gives it to Cordodo, but Cordodo kind of fumbles the ball away. Now Dalmeida brings it up. 4-on-3 fast break. Enjoy back to Dalmeida, and his quick pass was intercepted. He had the short jumper. Now Kalfi puts it up off the glass and in for Morocco.
That's a big play. The swing there. Senegal have the advantage, completely make a hash of the transition. The other way, Kalfi with a tough finish.
Dieng passes it back out of the paint. Now he gets it back. Oh, he was getting ready to go up for the flush. Instead, he still uses his huge frame and goes up and gets the basket. And now Morocco, in too much of a hurry, throw it too far ahead on the fast break. Cordodo can't catch it. So we've seen both teams rather, not capitalize on opportunities and give it right back to the opponent. That was Kalfi punishing Senegal after their turnover. And the Moroccans sitting pensively with some excitement. Dalmeida. Oh, bounce pass, beautiful play from Dieng and Dalmeida. Well, Mendy rather, 13 points.
Excellent back cut, wasn't it? But what about the pass from Dieng? You know, he's found space in the foul line he just didn't have in the first half.
Well, Harris has checked into the game. Cordodo misses the short little jump hook.
I don't know if it's time for a little change in defense from Morocco again. Just to kind of try and just change things up a little, because it's all going wrong for them right now. Senegal finding space in the high post, and then the zone is bothering them. Maybe a change to man, mean they rebound and get out and transition a little bit easier.
It's interesting how a game just kind of changes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Morocco had the wind in their sails. They were moving along, and now it's Senegal, but Dieng misses the free throw, and you just kind of wonder. Senegal don't take advantage of these chances. Maybe the advantage will go back to Morocco. He makes 1 of 2. So now he's got 12 points and 9 rebounds. And Cordodo not playing well at the moment.
Just don't need that pass at this moment in time.
Dalmeida passes. They get it over to Mendy. And Mendy buries the 3. And look at the emotion from the Senegalese bench and from Mendy himself. 16 points. That's sort of a quiet 16 for Mendy, isn't it?
Yeah, he shot the ball well from the perimeter.
Calfee for 3. And that was nothing but air. Well, Naja's going to come back.
Need to regroup Morocco. They're pulling, kind of discussing the three-point line as a team. There's a big gap between the guards and the bigs, but now they're going to slip into man-to-man.
Oh, beautiful find again from Dieng. He's become the assist master. Harris bounced past the Naja, but right now, dangerous times, just like early in the game. Zuita does what he does best and gets to the rack.
Rare escape from Zuita. He hasn't done that at all. Now they're going to go man-to-man the whole time. Morocco.
Enjoy for 3. Now Harris thought about bringing it up, but gives it back to Calfee. And Zuita puts it up and in. 4 consecutive points from Zuita.
They've got to play D now, though, because he went so quickly. They've given the final shot to Senegal.
Enjoy. Oh, they find Dieng, and he jams it with 2 hands. And Naja, the man that you call the foul magnet, or that you say picks up fouls, sure enough, picks up one. So it's an and 1 coming for Dieng.
It's just so frustrating if you're Morocco. The breakdown, simple horn set. They didn't guard it well. Then Naja trying to hustle back into the play. Just put 2 hands on the back of Dieng as he's dunking it.
Well, with 1.1, Harris puts it up from long range and sails past the left of the backboard. So Morocco, having come back with a couple of impressive plays by Zuita, they find themselves trailing now 58-51 with 10 minutes remaining. Well, both teams high shooting percentages. From inside the arc. Is that because the defense isn't there?
Well, they haven't taken a lot of 2-point shots, Senegal. They took a lot of 3-point shots in the first half. In the third quarter, they did a very, very good job. It's just interesting. It's just trying to think back. Almost every game we've seen so far in this tournament, the third quarter has been the key point, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
You know, the third quarter, one team has really taken a firm grip on the game. And that's been it. You know, no one's been able to come back after that third quarter punch. So Morocco, will they be the first? It's only 7 points, but a lot of the lead teams, the favored teams going into the fourth quarter with a lead are then able to stretch it out to big figures as well.
Fourth quarter action underway here. Senegal on top by 7 against Morocco. And Morocco looking a little bit stronger defensively here coming out. But Faye gets open, and good box out there from Harris, keeping Mendy away from the rebound.
Good start to this fourth quarter is vital for Morocco.
Kalfi goes up and is fouled by Dalmeida. Don't foul the jump shooter. Not with 3 seconds on the shot clock, especially.
And fouling is such a key part of the game. When to do it and when not to do it. It really can change everything, because the percentage of that shot was probably 15, maybe 10 from Khalifi, but instead he's going to get 2 free throws. And as we said, it's important for a good start to this fourth quarter from Morocco. Getting to the line is going to give them 2 easy points, allows them to set up this defense that we've seen as well. So, you know, it's a big thing to send someone to the line so cheaply.
7 points, 5 boards, 4 assists for Kalfi. And back to a 5-point deficit. And the pressure, Faye didn't rush it, brought it back out. Now Mendy has it. Walker trying to turn it up defensively. Jang in the lane, puts it up! Hello! The one-handed jam from Gorgui Jang.
Wow, similar to the Zawita. Why do you take that fake? Just a little show.
And Kuroda. Well, Kuroda misses, and Jang, meanwhile, with 17 points, 9 rebounds. Enjoy misses that 3. Still only a 7-point lead. Plenty of time for Morocco. But a kick has been called on Chua.
Khalifa is very good in transition, but that time he made a big mistake. Zawita was ahead on the left-hand side, and he didn't see him. Or if he did see him, he couldn't get him the ball. Tried to, instead to go to Chua, and that's why they got the turnover. Those were the mistakes Morocco, when they were leading, when they were in the ascendancy, they weren't making. That's how they got the lead. They were perfect in transition. So a lot of room for Dieng here.
Jang just kind of leans in and gets the basket. Kuroda kind of leaned over looking for the charge.
Well, what a second half he's had, Dieng. 5 points, 5 rebounds at halftime. He's now
look at him.
19 and 9.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Just he was a non-factor completely in the first half.
He doesn't force it. Zawita, oh! Looked like the ball was just going to sit up there for a while. And then a turnover. Why? No need. No need for Senegal to be in a rush, really. Kuroda, boy, that ball had no arc. That was like a straight line.
He's just walking back as well. He's got to get back. Dieng's ahead of him.
I think he's tired.
Yeah, there
and
he is.
Gets inside, adds to his tally, and Kuroda lucky not to get a foul.
It's just poor play from Kuroda, though. He's just walking up and down the floor. He missed. Threw his head to the sky, didn't get back, and that's why Dieng was wide open.
Kalfi and Kuroda really is, I think he needs to come out, and I think he's going to come out because he's either tired or...
Yeah, the problem is Nadja's already got 4 fouls. There's a long time to go for Nadja to play with 4 fouls.
Did you see that? Kuroda almost walked off the court thinking there was a dead ball, and then he realized he had to get back and play defense. In it goes Jang. And he lived the tail to tail this time. Good rebound from Harris. Oh, beautiful pass from Harris. And this time Kuroda goes up and scores.
He's asking for a sub. He wants to get out. Chubbs has got a guard Dieng on the other end. Not the man to guard when you're tired, is he?
Well, he stopped him last time.
Did he stop him or did
He
Dieng
bothered him.
missed?
Well, I think he bothered him enough to affect him. Well, there's definitely a little bit of both. Dalmeida, Mendy for three, and Dieng gets it, passes it back out with a new 14.
It's the double-double for Dieng then, 21 and 10.
Dalmeida gets in the lane, passes outside to Mendy. Well, that would have been good timing if he'd made it. And it goes, oh, that's a beautiful dunk. Oh, and he's just taking it down. The basket. Not at all what we want this late in the game. 64-59, at least the backboard did not shatter, shall we say. But Zuita has just come up with the play of the day, although not the play that we want. Here it is again. He hangs on the rim, and then watch the rim just kind of sink down.
I said to you, didn't I? I won't be the cameraman under that ring because he's had some pounding today.
Look at the beauty of modern technology. It just goes right back to where it needs to be. What are they going to do? Put the tape measure out there and make sure it's okay?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Lloyd, but my stomach just kind of like sunk, knowing that dinner time was just around the corner. And I was thinking about a lengthy delay, but that was a big play from Zuita because it's cut the deficit to 5.
And he's given some energy to Morocco as well. You know, they're kind of pumped up. They liked it. They got energized by the dunk. So they're already back on the floor, ready to go. Before the referee blew his whistle. And importantly, you know, the other thing, it's almost like a free timeout to get some rest into Corridor as well. And we see it. Morocco still got 3 timeouts. Haven't called any in this second half yet. So there'll be a lot of stoppages yet left. Zuita was not impressed at all. He didn't seem bothered.
Which one?
Zuita.
Oh, Zuita, yeah. He was like, let's get on with it. He's probably hungry like we are. 64-59. Enjoy, hands it back to Mendy. And suddenly the wind starting to pick up into the sails of Morocco. I'm just glad the backboard didn't break. And it goes to Dieng, and Mr. Unstoppable catches it. Really, for him, it's almost been a quiet 21 and 10, other than that dribble drive dunk. He's hit some jump shots. It's interesting that his numbers aren't higher in the NBA, but maybe doesn't get quite as many minutes. Maybe competition's a little bit tougher.
Yeah, he's another one of these guys who's just super efficient. He's not really a big-time scorer, but he shoots more than 50% from the field. He plays 30 minutes a game, but he is a rotation. 9.7 points, 8.3 rebounds this year. You know, way up on his numbers from his rookie season. For Minnesota, they're a young team, aren't they? They're getting better year on year.
Well, it's 23 and 10 now. 23 points, 10 rebounds. We've seen him also, his passing tonight's been pretty good. Calfee, skip hop, jump, puts it in. 66-50, 66-61.
Very impressive move, that one. Split the guards, pulled up, shot it over the arm of the shot blocker as well.
Now Phi, and this time Dieng loses control as he goes towards the basket. Just dribbled it off of his right foot. His foot. Passes out to Zuati.
Oh.
And needless turnover. So Zuita was poised and a missed opportunity for Vuljanic. driving Phi. Back out to Jang. Dalmeida. 4 on the shot clock. Enjoy. That's a mistake. It's the one guy really you don't want to leave open at the end of the shot clock. So that takes it back to 8. Think that could be a nail in the coffin?
No, it's still a long time to go.
Yeah, definitely a long time to go.
Yeah, 8 points. It's like I said, the thing about the way Senegal play is 8 points is quite a bit against them because you don't score many points and they don't score many. A lot of it because of the tempo as well. So you're going to have to go quickly, try and speed the game up as Morocco have been trying to do. So we've got the shot clock sorted now.
Well, Naja gets in the lane and Phi just takes it away. Now Dalmeida tries to avoid the foul to get an easy bucket. And Hadas was able to reach in and commit the foul.
Good hands from Phi there, tipped it away from behind.
So timeout will be called with 3:35 remaining. Look at those fast break points, 27-9. How much of that is Zuita? It's Kalfi and Zuita primarily, isn't it?
Well, Zuita has 19, 15 of them probably in transition.
Points in the paint. Morocco even have had a lot more joy with the points in the paint. But I guess a lot of that is the fast break points as well. So
Senegal have done well. They made 7 threes in comparison to just 2 for Morocco. They also made 12 free throws.
Now that's interesting. Points from turnovers, 26-13 for Senegal. So you would think that a lot of points off turnovers would come in transition, but anyway.
Senegal they're not a team that likes to run unless there's a surefire opportunity for them to score.
Enjoy into the corner to Mendy. And back it goes. Back to Hadas. Well, Hadas can hit the 3. And they seem to give it to Kalfi, who then gives it to Zuita. So they knew what they were doing.
Beautiful play, the timing, absolutely perfect. And he said it's not over. What is it now? 6 points. 3 minutes to go still. Could be another stop.
Morocco's up their D.
I don't know why the Moroccan defense all rushes at Dalmeida when he is penetrating, when he has the ball.
Now this is the last timeout that's been called by Chek Sar. That's pretty early to burn it, isn't it?
No, he's got one more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
I thought
is
he only
second.
had one. Oh, okay, sorry. So Zuita flies in, gets it to 6.
Yeah, I was just saying that in Morocco, they need to know the scouting report. Dalmeida has played 32 minutes. He has 2 points. In his 32 minutes, he's taken 4 shots. He's only made 1 of them. And yet, he comes off a screen, and a couple of times he's managed to catch the Moroccan defenders with 2 of them on him. You know, that's a cardinal sin. If Dieng and Dalmeida are in a pick and roll, you don't worry about Dalmeida. You just make sure you're guarding Dieng on the roll.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you go underneath, but a couple of times, you know, maybe the first time on the screen the defender gets underneath and the big does a good job holding his space, and the second time he kind of steps out and rushes to the ball, leaving Dieng open. And then there on penetration, Dalmeida's going into the paint. Just have one guy help.
Yeah.
You know, don't have 3 or 4 people help him, because he wants to kick it out to somebody to shoot the 3. He wants to give it up for somebody to get an easy 2. See if he can finish against you. So far in this game, he hasn't shown the ability to do that. You know, for me, I'd say, right, Dalmeida's going to beat us, not Gorgie Dieng.
So back to live action, and right at the end of the shot clock, get nothing, but then they turn it right back, and it goes into Mendy, and he earns a trip to the free throw line.
Naja just, I mean, it's just an outlet pass. He got done. I'm not sure who was it that got the steal. Oh, of course, it was Dieng. You know, he just played him. Acted like he was running back, turned and stole it. And Naja didn't think he was looking, and now Naja's got to go out. So hopefully that's been a long enough rest for Korodu.
Well, you called it. He said he'd foul out. He did make it pretty long, though.
22 minutes.
So Korodu has had his rest.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's able to just dig in and give him something here at the end of the game.
I mean, just one possession, it just means so much. They had the ball, they were down 6. Could have cut it to 4 or even 3, and now look at this. They've given up 1 free throw, and now possession back to Senegal again. So rather than it be 4, perhaps even 3 points, we're now looking at potential 12-point game.
Fai collects it, gets it to Jang. Jang puts it on. Good left-handed move, gets it back, and passes out to the wing, thinking Fai is going to be there. Could have been worse for Morocco.
Yeah. To try and get Khalifi a 3 here. That'd be a big make if he could get it. Out of bounds. Hopefully they've got something. You know, he usually will inbound and then run off some screens one way or another.
Well, Zuita gets inside. You simply cannot allow him to penetrate, and he has a 3-point play opportunity.
I said Khalifa a 3. I should have just said Zuita and now 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
You know, the thing, I mean, I know he's good at his craft, but surely you know it's coming.
And the thing is, he goes right every time. You know, he never goes left either. So not only can you say, give him the jump shot, you can also say, play the right-handed drive, but still, you know, he's just one of those players. I think that even though everyone knows it's coming, he's very crafty. He has a couple of fakes. He uses change of speed very well. And he's got them big shoulders. You know, he's a really wide frame. Great athlete. So even if you're anticipating and going in the right direction, you still might not be able to stop him.
Well, he's had a huge scoring game, that's for sure. 23 points. So he and Jang both with 23. And also Jang just picked up his 12th rebound. Well, the turnover. And he's going to get it back, and he's going to put it up and in. And he's going to draw yet another foul. And just like that, Zuita, you know, we've seen it before in this game, and he's just continues to bring his team back.
Yeah, I mean, Senegal, they do this. Same thing happened last year. They won 2 games in their first round group, like 1 by 2 and 1 by 5. And then they got blown away by the Ivory Coast, so.
Well, this should be a 1-point game, but Zuita just missed 2 free throws.
Yeah. Their first game of the tournament in 2013 was just a 2-point win over Egypt. And that's a good defensive play there. No one rushed to Dalmeida. They made him take the shot rather than help on him and give somebody else an open look.
Well, and it goes to Zuita. Out to Harris.
Oh,
and it rimmed out. I thought that was in.
Did everything but go down, didn't it? Rolled around once, twice, maybe. Still got time, though. Need to do anything crazy.
Good play from Senegal. Great defense from, incredibly, great defense from Kurodu. Didn't look like he got up, just raised his hands and blocks Jing.
I don't think he knew what was happening.
Watch this.
Did he? No, fantastic defense, yeah.
And
Stayed
good no call from the referee. Khalif, the runner. Enjoy with the rebound. Now, Dalmeida, 2-on-1, and Chua knocked the ball away.
Well, they've had some chances, Morocco, haven't they? They got a couple of great looks. Those missed free throws as well.
Fai's walking over to the referee to say he had his arm taken off by Chua, but he's not going to get any call. Well, timeout on the floor, 45.1 seconds to go. Still a lot of work to do for Senegal.
Morocco's quite a smart foul from Khalifa. They've got 45 seconds. The choice now, if they foul, it'll be 2 shots. If they don't, they will get the possession again and a lot of time. So it's how much do you trust your defense? That's the thing. Just having a look, Senegal, 13 of 18 from the line.
I think the way they've played and the way Senegal have turned it over, I would trust your defense. Look at the free throws. Morocco 50%. Senegal 72%. So Morocco are probably shooting themselves in the, they're going to kick themselves after this game if they lose it, because Zuita especially has missed 4, including 2 late. And then you've got the points off the turnovers as well. 27 points off turnovers for Senegal.
Yeah, so the tactic is you either foul early and extend the game that way, hoping that they miss one and you get a score, or you just try and play defense. The problem with that is if they score, if Senegal, you try to play defense, Senegal score, it's pretty much game over. And even if you get a stop, you still then leave yourself a 3, having to hit a 3. No one really on the floor for Senegal, you'd say, is a bad free throw shooter.
Well, Fai is going to try to get it to Jang.
Foul.
He's going to be double teamed, so he has to pass it back out. 5 on the shot clock. Good play by Morocco, but Fai aggressively gets to the basket and draws the foul. He didn't settle for the jump shot.
No, that was smart play.
Yeah, you get to the basket and get the foul, at least.
He put all the pressure on the defense, didn't he? He didn't allow them to just be bailed out.
And he misses the first.
I mean, really, he needs one. 1 of 2 is important. Make it a 2-possession game.
Well, the foul is Harris.
Yeah, when you miss this, you leave the option of a 3 to tie.
Fai makes 1 of 2.
Morocco go quickly now. Real quick, just get a shot. Doesn't necessarily have to be a 3. Bonus if it is.
Coffee passes out.
Yeah,
you knew what was coming there. Zuita was going to put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
Line. You got 1 timeout left. Will they take it now?
So Senegal not yet in the bonus. So 1 more, they'll be shooting free throws. I would be tempted if I were Senegal to foul before I'd give away an open shot inside.
A lot of teams have 3-point shots out of bounds. Don't seem to though. Morocco.
No need to play him out.
Oh, got a good look.
Khalif, and he misses, and Jang with the rebound.
That might seal the game right here. 2 of 2 means they're going to hit 2 threes. And a team which is only 2 of 11 may struggle to do that in 15 seconds.
I think I would have tried to go back to Zuita and let him penetrate and drive and get another basket. Because, let's see, Khalif tonight, as Jane goes to the line, makes the first. Kalfi, rather, is that right? Has he not hit a three tonight? I thought he had hit one.
No.
So your strength has been Zuita all night. Ding makes just one of two. Now quickly Kalfi. And he was fouled by Jang. So I think Senegal actually bailed them out. They've basically fouled. They've stopped the clock. So now he has a chance to make 2 free throws. And, you know, if they get a steal and a three, they can tie it. Or they could elect to foul again.
Got to make these, though. Got to make 2 here.
You know what I mean? So this will make it a 3-point game if he can make this one. Maybe get a steal. Maybe somebody will hit a three they haven't hit all night. Nothing but net. Sure 2 points.
Still got a timeout left as well, Morocco. Ooh.
And Zuita fouls Enjoy. And these free throws are a little bit harder to make this time of the game.
Enjoy's a confident guy, but you know, it wasn't far off a steal there on the inbound.
It's 9.5, so if he makes both of these, it's back to a 5-point game. It's going to be pretty tough. I think you definitely do not foul. Hey, you're right. Just strokes it.
Had a good game, hasn't he? He's had 3 big performers. 24 of Dieng, Mendy 17, and now Ndoye joins him on 17 with that as well. Nobody else more than 5. Incredibly, it really has been those 3. They've done all the scoring.
Well, they haven't given up the ghost yet. Although a bunch of players have walked onto the court. Still got 9.5 seconds to go.
Again, you just never know with the points difference. Said this isn't the easiest group.
Morocco just 2 of 12 from 3-point range in the game. They've missed a lot of free throws.
We've already seen, you know, Angola, we know their power, but Mozambique are no pushovers either, so points difference may come into effect at some stage. That's why we see the timeout. They advance them the ball, and Morocco's still trying to get this final score.
So they're not trying, you don't think they're trying to get the win, you think they're trying to get the points?
I think, yeah, they're trying to get the win for sure, but they'll take, you know, they're trying to get points here and then see what happens.
Yeah, but would they then foul again if they were to get a 2 here instead of a 3?
Yeah, I think so.
So Harris is going to inbound it. So they advance the ball, and Zuita goes inside and dunks it. It's risky for Senegal to be that close.
Still a
and
chance.
They do foul. Yeah.
6 seconds is plenty of time to get a shot. It's the fact that you're relying on Dalmeida to miss 2 free throws here.
Well,
Senegal on the floor, they think the game's finished.
Well, they've got more of a chance now than they did, say, a couple of seconds ago, I think.
Pressure free throws. Senegal have been good from the line in crunch time.
Yeah, and Dalmeida is good in crunch time.
Yep.
So back to a 4-point game. And both of them go in. Well, Morocco, as you say, maybe thinking about points differential as well. Here we go. And Khalif misses. So it is going to end up being a 76-71 win for Senegal over Morocco in the last game of the day here. See the limping there from Badji for Senegal. That's the bad news for them. Hopefully he'll be okay. So the final score, 76-71 here at the AfroBasket, day 2 in Tunis. Well, the 2 of 12 shooting from long range for Morocco hurt a little bit. Probably what hurt more than that was the free throw shooting.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to struggle to win games, aren't you? If you don't hit from the free throw line, you don't have great shooting. Senegal did the right thing going into that zone, and they could protect the ring. Of course, I always said, you know, you need a good performance, you need a standout player, and Gorgui Dieng did exactly that for them, didn't he? 24 and 15.
The turnover game was pretty even, as well as the fouls. So it's been an exciting day. Everybody, thanks for tuning in, watching the AfroBasket. For Lloyd Gardner, I'm Jeff Taylor, signing off from Tunis.